What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, man. As always, I am Eric. Welcome to my humble little channel here through Blind Eyes, my Philippine quest. As always, man, I'd like to welcome back my old and current subscribers. Thank you to all you guys for sticking with me here. To all my new subscribers and to anybody that's on the fence, man. And if you're on the fence, I swear to God, I'm going to do this to you. And you're probably not going to like it. Get off the fence, man, and come hang out with your buddy Eric. And the growing number of people we have on this channel, man. It's doing pretty good. Like I said before, guys, I apologize I'm not in the Philippines yet. Got this a little bit over a month, though, man. We're coming for my my inaugural trip. I'm really... super excited, a little nervous, obviously. I never traveled that far before, especially out of the, I never traveled out of the country. I very well went to Canada years ago, but who cares? It's Canada, it's not that far away. But yeah, man, anyway, let's get right into it. Getting a vasectomy. Is it a good idea or a bad idea? And just like most people, guys, I can only explain this, from my perspective. You know what I mean? Every guy is going to be different. You know what I mean? So, I made a little list of some pros and cons. Let's kind of go over that and give my thoughts on it. I'm at the gathering information stage right now. I'm not really, it's not like I'm going to go do it next week or in a couple weeks or anything like that. It's just something I'm considering, and I'll get more to that at the end. So, stick around to the end, man. All right, so... I guess we'll go over the pros first. Why not? Get the good news first, and then we'll do the cons later. All right. So obviously, the number one pro is, you can have after a certain period of after having it done, you have to go get your sperm test and all that. But once you're all past that and you're all clear, you can have carefree sex with not having to worry about having kids. The odds of what I've, through the research and a little bit of reading I've done, at that point, once you've been tested and pretty much you're shooting blanks, basically, the odds of getting a woman pregnant are really low, like less than 1%. So you're pretty much good to go. And yeah, you can have carefree sex for the rest of your life. And who doesn't want that? I think we all do. Let's be honest, guys. It's nice not to worry about that. Once you've made the decision that, you don't want to have kids anymore, you got to make that decision. But, yeah. So, yeah, the next point. You save a lot of money over the years on condoms. And I think most girls can get birth control pills free, I think, mostly, through Planned Parenthood. I mean, at least, I don't know, that was years ago when me and my girlfriend at the time, she was using... that she got him free, and she was on him for at least a year and a half that we were together, and we had lots of sex at that time, and definitely unprotected sex. And she never got pregnant. So we're pretty good, but maybe sometimes you have to pay for those, and they can fail. Just like condoms, they can fail. But anyway, the point is you save a lot of money on contraception, mostly condoms. Let's be honest. And who doesn't like to save money? That's definitely a good thing. So, from what I've seen in the few guys that I've heard their stories and their experiences on, it's been for the most part it's pretty quick. Well, it's definitely quick. It's about a 20-minute procedure, maybe 30 at the most, and it's pretty painless. The initial, I think, numbing shot is probably the worst. I used to think that they used to go right directly into your actual testicle, but they don't. They just numb the skin around it. You're gonna feel a little pinch, just like you do, and I'm sure it's no worse than getting, your blood drawn or something like that. Obviously, it's a little more sensitive area down there, but they're not jamming it right into your testicle. That would be a huge problem. That's really the most sensitive part, is the actual testicle itself. But there's a lot of nerve endings down there. Things can happen. I'm sure the doctors are as careful as they can be, but you got hundreds of nerves down there. God knows how many. I have no idea, but you got to be careful. Recovery time is pretty quick for most guys. Pretty much, you just got to kind of chill out for a week. Definitely no sexual activity for at least a week or two, depending on what your doctor tells you. Ease off on the gym, sports, things like that. Definitely won't be riding no bikes. just kind of chill out for a week. Pretty much, it's been pretty much a week. Yeah, from what I've seen and read and heard, it's pretty much a week. The first week is definitely the most important. Sometimes it goes a little longer than that. It seems like, but that's even that's pretty minimal. Not too many guys. Once you get past that first week, you're pretty much good. From people that I've heard from. So. And yeah, back to the condoms again. Yeah, like I said, you don't have to. As long as you're with one woman that you trust, you don't have to use condoms ever again. You're just saving money. I don't even have to use them ever again. You can have, like I said, carefree sex. Don't have to worry about having kids. That's. I'm sure there's more pros than that. Those are just a few that I've been able to come up with so far. But all right, so let's get into the bad news now. And there's a few things. The cons. Number one is sometimes it's not so quick and painless for some guys. Like I said, everybody's story is different, but some guys might take a few weeks to heal. Some guys, the procedure, whether it's kind of on their head, I don't know exactly, but some get nervous and they need more of kind of a local anesthesia, I believe, is the most that's used, but sometimes maybe a couple Valiums, whatever, to calm down. Some guys really didn't like the experience at all, and they got some side effects that are not really pleasant because of it. So, but like I said, everybody's story. Obviously, another one is you can. I mean, the procedure can be reversed, but it's a lot of times not covered by insurance. So one, it's gonna be very expensive. I've heard upwards of about $10,000, and two, the success rate's not always 100%. I think it's usually about like a 50-50, maybe 60-40 at best. So these are things you have to kind of come to grips with and figure out ahead of time. What you wanna do, and make sure for sure before you pull that trigger. You may change your mind. Another con is you may change your mind down the road, and that kind of, like I said, leads into the last one, or kind of coincides with the last one. Is do you really want to have to put yourself in a position to have to even go through that, having it reversed? I'm sure it's not as easy as getting it done. Very rarely are things in life, once we do them, it's sometimes a lot, very difficult to undo. Do you really want to go through that, financially, and surgery again, and it's already bad enough having them, cut open your scrotum once. Do you really want to, as a man, to have them down there again? Probably not. So, you definitely want to know before you do it. If you have a wife or girlfriend or whatever, you're sexually active before it, is done. You can't have sex for at least a couple weeks. And even beyond that, you're not shooting blanks right away. It could take up to 6 months, I've read. So you still have to use contraception and be careful for a while until your sperm count is pretty much at zero, or what I heard was less than 100,000 per cc of sperm, to where your sperm are pretty much, they're always going to be there, but they're kind of dead. You know what I mean? They're not swimming. They're not making a break for that egg. You have to be careful for a while. It's not like you get it done in a couple weeks and you're good to go. Like, no. There's people that have probably broken the rules and, ended up with a kid that, they didn't want or planned for, or whatever the case. It doesn't matter, but definitely follow the doctor's orders. I mean, they know what they're talking about. There's been plenty of study and research on this over the years by many, many, many different people. Until you know for sure, be careful. I know I will if I decide to get it done. And the one that I'm kind of worried about really is, well, I'm worried about two main things. One, is it going to affect me as a man, my testosterone count, and I'm going to look into that more. It seems like no, but I don't know. Some of the TRT people seem to think it can, but they could just be peddling TRT. Who knows? But the big one is you may really regret it later on in life. You may think it. Let's say I'm 41 now. I decide I'm going to do it. I want no kids, and at 50, I might decide I want to, have kids again. And once you, like I said, once you pull the trigger, at least for me, once I pull the trigger, there's no going back. Cause I'm not gonna spend 10 grand and try to get it in reverse. Like, this is it. So really, I'm looking at it as there is no reversal. You know what I mean? So, you know, can I deal with that? Can I handle the fact that, you know, I'm done with kids? It's a huge decision, guys. Huge. For me, for anybody. And hopefully you, whoever I'm speaking to, this might be thinking about doing this. You know, be sure before you know, pull the trigger, definitely. And then you guys that may have had it, you know, hit me up down in the comments, man. Let me know how your experience was, and you know, what kind of happened for you. And I love sharing stories with you guys, definitely. Yeah, hit me up, man. Let me know some knowledge, man. I'll take all I can get at this point. All right, guys, that's it, man. I appreciate you stopping by with me for just a few minutes here. As always, I really appreciate you, spending your time. It's so very valuable with me, even if it's just for a few minutes, man. If you got any kind of value out of this, learned anything you like, hear me yap, whatever the case may be, man, please smash that like for your buddy Eric. Drop kick it right in the face. It really helps with YouTube algorithms. Helps my channel to grow, which I am growing slowly but surely. I really appreciate you guys sticking with me. Like I said, got one more month, man. A little bit over a month, and we will be in the Philippines. Only for about 2.5 weeks, unfortunately, for my first time. I'm gonna vlog pretty much every weekend second, besides sleeping and showering and whatever other activities. I'm not gonna record that, but it's gonna be a record fest. And like I said, guys, I'm probably gonna have a couple weeks where I'm not gonna be uploading anything, so just bear with me. But there'll be an influx of Philippine stuff, everything from the flight home, or from the flight there to the flight back, and reflections obviously when I get back, and all that stuff. So appreciate you guys, man. I love you. Remember, we only have one world. We're all family. I don't care what anybody says. Let your differences go. Money, skin color, background, your ethnicity, what country you're from, you know, how big your house is or isn't, how fast your car is or isn't, how hot your wife is, her girlfriend is or isn't. It doesn't matter, man. And it gets in the way of who we are to each other. We need to stop with that bullshit and start focusing on what matters, and that's helping each other. Regardless, you know, we're all, if you cut us, we bleed. It doesn't matter where you're from or what you look like. We're all God's children. And that's just the way it is, man. I mean, it's not hard to tell. It's not hard to see. It's not hard to understand. It isn't for me, and I'm not claiming to be smarter than anybody. So I know if I can see it that way, anybody can see it that way. Yeah, man. It's about helping each other, man, and trying to survive and do as good as we can, as long as we can, and to leave the world in a better place than what we found it. And if you can help somebody, help. And don't ask for anything in return, because that's not real help. All right, love you guys, man. Thanks for stopping by, as always. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.